here with Brian Smith, coach of Missouri in the Olympic Training Center.
Yeah.
Guys are in town for a dual meet, right?
In Colorado Springs, and Don Bradley was here at there's the senior level training camp going on. So I told him I'd come by and watch him practice at 10, and Jaden's here, of course, and we brought Rocky in too so he could roll around a little with Jaden, which is nice. But getting to see the coaching staff, all the people here with USA Wrestling, I was just talking with Rich Bender and getting caught up on things that you guys are doing here. And we get to wrestle Air Force tonight, so it's been really cool. It's been a good day. Yeah,
so you've got right in the heart of the season, right? I mean, how things have been going for the Tigers so far?
We lost 2 really tight duels, but other than that, we've been doing, I've seen improvement throughout the season. And I feel like hopefully going into this weekend, I know we're getting healthier, that we're excited for this stretch run here, that the guys have seen improvement in their wrestling. Some of them got healthy and wrestled at the scuffle. We got some of the guys that were banged up that didn't wrestle in the scuffle will be wrestling this weekend. So they're kind of seeing it now that we can go into this stretch run and make a run for another Big 12 title and get on the podium as a team at the national tournament.
Yeah, I mean, as a team, you guys were in the Big 12, did a bunch of years in the MAC, came back to the Big 12, and I mean, the Big 12 is a little different than when that first stretch was, isn't it?
Yeah, the Big 12, this year alone, I'm looking at all the teams and how, at the scuffle, the top 3 teams are Big 12 schools. And, North Dakota State looks great. South Dakota State looking good. West Virginia's made big jumps. It's so deep. There's like 8 teams right now that are just really kicking some butt and doing great things. That was when I was coming back to it, when I was talking with John Smith, one of the goals was to get it, a conference that can compete at the same level as the Big Ten, and that's what, we're trying to do, build it up to that with all the programs we have, and you're starting to see that.
It's like the teams that were doing well are still doing well, and some of the teams have really stepped it up a little bit, right?
Yep, they're stepping up to the level.
But it means your team's got to be ready all season.
All season. There is no break. And I remember competing in the Big Ten as an athlete. You just don't get weekends off. And you look at some of the individuals from all these teams, you always have great matchups that some teams have. They may not have a highly ranked team, but they're going to have individuals that are ranked really high. And you got to be prepared, and you can't have letdowns because everything is seeding now too. All our matches the rest of the way are Big 12, and seeding is important, where you're going to get seeded at the Big 12 so you can do well and go on and get a good seat at the Nationals.
Now you got a group of athletes that kind of came in together and are growing together. What's that like? Great recruiting class, but these guys were good right away, but now they're even getting better.
It's special. I mean, I was just telling Rich Bender that we have 5 guys in our starting lineup right now that have been on world teams, that have wrestled for U.S. on a world team. And a couple of them have won world. So it's a very experienced group of young kids that came in together as a class, and they're coming through, and they're sophomores technically right now. Even though it's their 3rd year competing because of the COVID, but when they came together as freshmen, we had this talk and said we can do some special things and win a national title and individual titles and make world teams, all these things, but we got to work and grow close together and get each other better, and they've done that. And so it's been as a coach, it's very enjoyable to be around kids that want to learn and get better, and that's this group.
Now, you don't always get an opportunity to come here to the Springs.
No, it's actually my first time
national coaches
and competing at Air Force.
Competing at Air Force,
Last year was our first duel with Air Force, and I saw it that, talking to Coach Barber, getting to come out here, I'm like, man, I wonder if we can get over. We had a practice because our guys had to get weight off, but I was like, they can handle that. I'm coming over. I want to watch what the freestyle team's doing.
And the Air Force Academy is a unique place. The military academies offer something that
I got to spend time with one of my previous assistants, Bart Horton, and I snuck in, and he was teaching a self-defense class. So that was neat to see. He's Professor Horton out there. But,
that's all good.
It's really cool. I've enjoyed this. Now I hope I can enjoy the match tonight.
So anything kind of new on the college scene, things that are changing that you see? I mean, as one of the veteran coaches, you've actually been, you're the president of the NWCA. You've seen the sport change and develop. What's it like right now for college wrestling?
I think there's great things. I think that, programs are stepping up and supporting programs more. I think the schools when I look what our school's doing for our program, I think the changes that are happening with NIL are good for sports like ours, where kids can make some money now. And, if you have a business in town and they want to pay a kid to promote their business, you can have that. Where in the previous years, we couldn't. And I think that's important that our athletes can at least, I always explain it to people, a lot of wrestlers don't get full rides, and they're taking loans and things like that. So NIL money could be replacing loan money for a kid, in college, and that's an important thing. Besides building a relationship with business people in town, because they're going to eventually work after they graduate, and that's a good thing too if they're working for these businesses. But the other thing is, they're talking about the volunteer assistant becoming full-time. I'm excited about that. That's an important thing. We're picking up another full-time coach. Just the things the NCAA is doing for the student athletes and the programs. I think it's forward. It's good stuff.
Well, hey, we look forward to seeing the Tigers the rest of the year, and of course, your athletes. We'll see them on the USA circuit, right? They really have fun, and they try to compete at the same high level in the freestyle and Greco. So,
without a doubt,
appreciate you,
Tiger
man.
style.
Tiger style.